How's it going, everybody? Ken, I actually just did before stream, and I don't think I've looked it up properly. I just watched a trailer for it and some pictures. It looks like if Pac-Man was 3D, and instead of ghosts, it was monkeys. Is that it? It's like a maze game where you're running away from monkeys. Phantom is in chapter 2. Okay, eventually I'll get to chapter 2 then. The monkey level? There's so much more. I don't know. I went on the Steam store. My Steam is so broken, by the way. It's so slow for some reason. That's the first level? Oh, okay. Well, that's what they showed. It looks actually pretty good, not gonna lie, Ken. I might play it, and it's free apparently, so I might. You might have recommended a banger, man. Yeah, I'll look up to see how long it is. So I have to keep into consideration how many spooky games we can fit in this month. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It looks well put together. Did you guys see the Pokemon trailer? I was super happy. I was super happy with what they showed, man. I knew of the giraffe evolution, but seeing it in real life with his tail like closing, oh, he looks like a chain chomp. I love it. The main story is an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, well, that's good. That's good actually. That's good. That's a good stream time. Because if we're talking and chatting and I'm losing during it, that's doable. But the extras is 14 hours. Okay, but we won't be doing the extras. How is that such a striking difference? It takes you an hour-ish to beat the main game, but there's 14 extra hours? Huh? You skipped it? Drippy, it was basically just like gameplay we already kind of saw, but new stuff. It went into detail on doing picnics with your Pokemon. You can make sandwiches, which is amazing. It looks so good. It's like you go to Subway. You can like layer the sandwiches with like toppings, whatever you want. It's really fun. I don't think I care, but you like sandwiches, Trippy. Sandwiches are related to burgers, so I thought maybe you'd care about the sandwiches at least. I did it, by the way. I watched Adventure Time Distant Lands, the Finn and Jake episode. It was so sad. It was so sad. It was amazing. Like, oh my god. And then I was like, no. Also, the start of it was really dark, too. I can make one in real life. I mean, that's true. But your Pokemon can't eat it in real life. You can do it in the game, though. I just looked at the new stuff that we haven't seen. Honestly, fair. Most of it was, like, renewed stuff. It was cool just to see the menu and how it was playing and stuff. I like it. I'm happy. I'm happy. What song's playing? I can't hear it. Interesting. And punch a dumpster. I don't know. Is he gonna break your computer? That's what I would be concerned about. Steals your valuable information, then it ditches. Ken, what was the other game? You said something about the back rooms? And it was like the fake VR rec room. Could you Discord that to me, like in a private message, like private, just say rec room? I'll look that one up as well. Favorite part of the episode is when you see returning characters. Yeah, and then remember why they're in that setting. Yeah, it was such a long time ago I saw some of those characters. Like, oh yeah, these guys. I feel like watching it all again and then going into that one will be so much more satisfying because you'll remember all the characters very fresh. You're like, oh, this guy. Oh, Tiffany. I forgot Tiffany was even a character. Well, he wants to collect those channel points, Queen. He wants to be a good ColeHillChills follower, obviously. I'm excited to watch the other one, though. The wizard one. That's the only one I haven't seen yet. I remember Drippy you saying it was like your favorite one so far, which makes me doubly excited. What is this? What is this game a song from? Earthbound. Earthbound. That's why. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard this before. Loves the currency. Can't blame him, man. Can't blame him. I still need to make the CHC like a coin somehow. Would it be nice? I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm much excited. It was great to see Adventure Time again. It's been so long. It was very nice to like see the world again. ColeHill coins, exactly like the ColeHillChills coins. It's like Bitcoin, but it's ColeHill coins. That's when you know you've made it. You have a cryptocurrency. I'm trying to think of what it was called. A cryptocurrency based off of you. Oh, it's Pikmin. Like, huh? Who's screaming at me? Okay, Pikmin. It's from Pikmin. I say Pikmum. I don't know why. Pikmum. Pikmum. I need to go get ready to go out, but my dog is asleep on me, and she's so very well. Oh, I love that. No, when a dog's lying on you, you can't remove it. You can't. It's permanently stuck there. Pepper does it all the time. She'll roll over on her back onto you. It's like, Pepper. I miss Pepper. Ace! How's it going, Ace? We saw the first episode of My Hero in the new season, and I'm very excited. It looks like it's gonna, no fillers, straight to the action. I'm loving it so far. Because I am here! Love it, Ace. Is Glem here? Glem is currently dying. She's sick. She's a sickie. She is in the same room. She's behind the green screen on the bed. So she's here, but she's not in chat. She said hi. Rest in pieces, Glem. You will be missed. She says thank you. Oh my god, a sugar brother? Oh my god! Oh my god! Hi, Glem, my queen, says Kin. Hi. She doesn't respond. I've seen clips of Miracle's fight scene, and I'm hyped. Oh, it looks so good. Like, I was really, really pleased with the first episode so far. Because usually the first episode was like, alright, this is where we've been, this is where we're... No, this one was like, the war's starting, get ready! I'm like, whoa! That was fast. Kid, my king, hello. Glem should run the channel. Let's be honest, Queen. Glem does run the channel. She runs everything in the background. Geeky and Glem do everything for me. I'm just the face. I'm the mascot. Hi, Glom. Sorry my Oreo offering wasn't to your liking. It's okay. She forgives you, Coffee. It's gonna be zero fillers, all intense stuff. Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready, Ace. Lily! How's it going, Lily? Glem runs a circus, and Cole is the clown. Oi! I know. She doesn't see anything wrong with that. I'm like, I know, that's why it hurts. The truth hurts, man. I'm looking forward to dealing with DS during this stream. But I am not looking forward to dealing with DS during this stream. Oh, ads! I was like, what's wrong with DS? Ads. Yeah, I'm sorry, Queen. Ads be a pain. I said a British thing? What did I say? Good friend who wants to play. Yeah, no worries, Ace. Enjoy Overwatch 2. I still have yet to try it. I'm worried that I'll just load it up and it'll still be 40,000 people in queue. Are the servers better for those who play? Murd! No, they're still the same? Aw, bummer, man. I was kind of hoping to wait until the servers at least get better. I don't want that to be my experience, you know? Oi! Oi, oi, oi. Mate, mate, mate. I'm not British. I said something British the other day, apparently. You guys are rubbing off on me. I was like, that was very British of you. I was like, oh? I just said it British, she says. What was it I said? I don't remember. Reminds me of Juan. Oh, he would say oi all the time. I miss Juan! Rest in pieces. Earlier in my history class, there were these two Americans, and it was awesome, I think. They sounded like American and not British, and it was awesome. And then the whole class started doing horrible American accents. See, I can't imagine someone doing an American accent, you know? Yeah, because it sounds like the default to me. So, like, I've seen shows where people will, like, who are normally British will start talking American. I'm like, how do you do that? What does it feel like to do an American accent? It was so stereotypical. Love it. The tiniest Shiba Inu. Oh, we love Shiba Inus. They're so cute. It feels strange. I can imagine. Like British, it just feels very posh, you know? You feel very, very dignified. But I feel like if I was doing an American accent, it'd be the opposite. You kind of like, I gotta feel like it. I got done my vocals down. Now I get to see them every Thursday and Friday until Christmas. Oh, are they classmates? Oh, I thought they were doing like a presentation or something. You have two American classmates? That's cool. Is this Animal Crossing? What is this? Earthbound again. Every time it's something I have no idea what's playing. Odds are it's Earthbound. They're like teaching assistants. Oh, okay, understood. I forgot you guys had those. We didn't, like, at least my schools I went to didn't really have those. They were just there. Yeah, they're like learning to be teachers, so they go into classrooms and like they assist the teacher. They didn't assist much. Yeah, from what I've heard, that's usually the case. They do a lot of sanding, not a lot of assisting, you know? Earthbound kind of sounds like Christmas music. Like classical, oh, what's it called? Orchestra, like orchestrated Christmas music. They were in Spain prior to being in Brittyland. Brittyland! Brittany. Drake? Oh, I miss Pikmin. Now I'm super self-conscious every time I say it. Pikmin. Pikmin. Brittany. They asked names and said beautiful every time someone told them. Beautiful. Beautiful. Why? You do? You recall, Kin? You recall in your mind? You remember? You know? You feel me? The same queen. I'm not a speller. I'm not. It's not my thing. Spelling bees? Nah. Nah, fam. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Connecticut. Yeah, I don't know how to spell that one either. But yes, Connecticut. We shake hands. Alright, let's switch into Ace Attorney, shall we? We just met the best Ace Attorney character, in my completely unbiased opinion. And we are about to go into a great Sherlock Holmes deduction. My boyfriend. Is it Sherlock Holmes? In which case, yes, queen. Boom, boom, boom. All I know about Connecticut is Connecticut Avenue from Monopoly. All right. So we just peeled back the curtains on the witch's exhibit, and there's a man lying down. And she's like, oh, it's just a wax statue. But Sherlock Holmes is like, nuh-uh-uh. Nuh-uh-uh. That's a real body. And he's about to explain why it's a real body. Let me just turn my TV up a bit. Monopoly is Atlantic City? There's a Connecticut, though. We have a really old Monopoly. I don't know if that changes anything. But I remember there being Connecticut Avenue. Isn't it one of the light blue ones? Connecticut. Maybe it's red? I don't know. I don't remember. It didn't occur to me that Monopoly was different around the world. I feel like there might be minor differences. You can get a Canadian version of Monopoly. Oh my god, Glem and I went to a mall. She started laughing. We went to a mall the other day. And we went to this toy store. It was hilarious. And we found... It was Messi, right? There's a Messi version of... Oh, it was just football. It was Argentinian football version of Monopoly. And you could see Messi and his team on the front. It was like all blue and white stripes. It was amazing. Still in the queue for 30 minutes? Oh, bro, Ace, that's brutal. But yeah, there's some crazy Monopoly versions. I have played Monopoly City, Monopoly Normal, Monopoly Junior. We have Monopoly Cheat, like Cheaters Edition, which is really fun. You get cards that give you dares. Like, if you pull off this cheat, you get bonus points and stuff like that. And, like, any cheat goes. My dad... I think I told this before. I'm not sure. But my dad pulled off the biggest heist. He was the banker. We were playing Monopoly Cheat. And no one saw the sneaky guy. He took all the money out of the bank and put it into his pile of money. And then on the next turn, he was just like, so I cheated. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, I took all the money. And the way it works in Monopoly Cheaters, if you pull off a cheat and the next person goes and ends their turn, you get to keep that cheat and you announce you've done it. But if someone sees you do it, you're like, I got busted. You go to jail. And no one saw him do it, so he got to do it. I'm like, well, you win. Like, you have all the money. We can't even take money out of the bank. Like, you've won. I saw the version of Monopoly yesterday that's guaranteed to be the longest. Oh, I saw that one too. Yeah. It has 40 slots. It has the outside of the board and the inside of the board. It only has one dice block. Oh, it looks so funny. Even one dice block instead of having 40 spots. Like 96 spots. Oh, it's crazy. I saw that two ways. The Atlantic City version was the first version of Monopoly. I don't know what version we have, man. Is his name actually Sherlock Holmes? Yes, it is. It is, kid. I just cheated Monopoly. Lily, you would love the Cheaters Edition. It's really fun. Me and ColeHill's father are the same person. Dad? But you're mamakin. Are you daddykin now? Clem said ew. Is why Boardwalk is the most expensive property? I have no idea. I swear there's something Connecticut from what I play. Papa Hill. I finally loaded it in. Yeah, good. I'm glad, Ace. That was a long wait. Oh my god. Have fun. Have fun. I kind of want it's I highly recommend it, Lily. Best time I've ever had playing Monopoly. It was well worth it. It is the original Atlantic City version. Oh, then yeah, I guess it is. It was my mom's when she was a kid. So, it's definitely old, that's for sure. Boom, 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 boom. Here's a question for you guys. Which token do you play as in Monopoly? Which token? I tend to go for the dog. That's usually my go-to. Or the car when I was younger, but now I'm more dog, I think. The boot, I love it. My mom plays as a thimble, because she's a knitter. She likes to knit. Or the iron. They're so funny, like the different types you have. I pick a dog because I like dogs. Thank you very much, Trippy. So I can iron the board as I go. I love that. Iron is top tier. I feel like the wheelbarrow doesn't get enough love. The battleship and the car are obviously like the alpha Chad moves. Like, I'm the battleship, I'm the car, you know? We have, from one of the versions, a cat. So my sister always plays as the cat. The cannon. I want to get custom-made Monopoly tokens. I want to like get each of one day get each of my family like a custom token for them to play as. Like I would get my dad a motorcycle because he loves motorcycles. I'd get my mom an alpaca because she loves alpacas and her dreams to have like an alpaca farm. It keeps falling over. Yeah, it does that. You play as the hen? I've never seen a hen piece before, Drippy. I'm not ashamed, Queen. I'm just not one. 10! How's it going, 10? My family had to ban Monopoly because we all are a little too competitive. Save a Risk. I love playing Risk. It's so good. It's so fun. Every time we've played Risk with my family, it has gone down the same way each time. Like, it'll be everyone plays except for my mom because it's only 5 players. And then it ends up with me and my youngest brother last. And it's usually he has all of Asia and I have the rest of the world and we fight. And then I just manage to win. That has been every time I play Risk. So I have good experiences playing Risk. You lied. Drippy, you little prankster. There's a comedian that had a funny bit about families being torn apart during Monopoly. Oh, I believe it. My mom is super sweet, but sometimes infuriating to play games with because she doesn't try to win. She tries to make sure everyone has a good time. So like, if I will never do it because I want to win fair and square. But my siblings would be like, "All right, mom, like I want to trade you the blue place for the brown place." She's like, "All right, deal." I'm like, "That's an awful deal for you. Don't take that. Don't give them what they want." She's, "No, I just want to make sure everyone, you know, gets what they want." I'm like, "No, be ruthless. Try to win." Where do you get those pink 50s, Nana? You cheating whore. Jesus. Don't touch me, Grandma. Oh my God. Anyways, Monopoly's a good time. It's a good time, man. Aren't they? I love chaotic game nights. Love them. Absolutely love them. Boom, 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 boom. I may have called my mother a bitch a few times during Monopoly. She was even ruder to me. So it was even kind of. Whoa! Lily, you were kidding. Your family gets really aggressive. What is your guys' family go-to game to play? I feel like ours has become... I don't know. My family used to play poker a lot. Monopoly occasionally. I feel like Uno. Uno was the biggest game my family always plays. No, the biggest game we play is called Catchphrase. It's this little circle machine, and you have different categories, and you have to describe to your team what it is without using the word. And if you get it, you pass it to the next person, kind of like hot potato. And whichever team it ends on when the timer goes off, the other team gets a point. That's our go-to. We love it. We love that game so much. It's great if you have no good board games. True. Coffee doesn't have to be your biological family. Your family, you know, whatever you consider your family. Boom, 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 boom. My mom would tear me apart if I call it, right? Cards Against Humanity. My mom's too innocent. She would never let us play Cards Against Humanity. Oh, Glenn, when we bring you to Canada, you're definitely gonna play Catchphrase. It is like my family's go-to game whenever we have someone over to play. Anyways, I should probably get into the story. So I got so distracted by board games. I love them. I also love playing euchre. That one's fun when you have 4 people. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some 200 pounds. That is all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast. It would seem, Madame Tospels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes fall. The significance of the 200 pounds revealed by the public notice. Waxworks for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of 200 pounds. None. My family of choice, I mean, loves board games. Oh, I love that. What type of board games, Coffee? I'm always looking for more board games to play. The only family person in my family I can't call it is my grandmother. Everyone else is fair game. I feel like my mom is the only person I definitely couldn't call that to. If you pull them, we have thousands? Bro, Coffee, can I be part of your friend group? I love board games. Although, every time I try to explain a game to my family, they cannot follow. They cannot. I can't teach them new games for the life of me. I tried. We played Exploding Kittens, and that one went over well because it was easy enough. But I tried to play the unicorn version of the game. I forget what it's called. My family were in tears, laughing for me trying to explain the game because they could not, for the life of them, pay attention. It was so bad. I really like Cards Against Humanity or Castle of Mad King Ludwig. I've never heard of it. Or not the best at explaining things. No. Off the top of my head, sure, I'm not great at explaining things. However, when it comes to rules and board games and stuff, I love going into detail and explaining games. I'm so good at it. Compared to my family, I'm the best one. And even then, they still couldn't. They couldn't take it. But I've been really liking Splendor. I think Isn't that a sugar company? Isn't that like Splenda? Splenda's the sugar company. Splendor. What is Splendor? What is the game? I really like Haunting of Hill House because you can turn on the other players and become the villain. Ooh, that sounds fun, Lily. I love that. That sounds great. A lot of my friends like that game. It sounds cool. I've heard Catan is fun. I don't think I'd ever be able to play it with my family, but it sounds fun. All right. Now let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? I play Splatoon. It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Ah. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. You knocked him out with money? What a baller way to go, man. It would appear that you twisted the gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of the 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us, he collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that gentlemen's dreams are not plagued with regret. I don't know about that, man. You also get to build the boards you go. Oh, that sounds so cool. I love Catan, but only with expansions. I have heard the base isn't as good without expansions. I've heard that. That is my contribution to this conversation. So if there was a Splatoon Monopoly, would you consider it? Would you consider that one, Drippy? The question that arises, then, is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that a problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is a young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we only need to observe his neckerchief, such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before. Oh wait, he's old. Oh, I thought this was because the scarf was long, so I thought this was the cop from the last trial we were on. But if he's old, it's not him. Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with the particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. Ah, but you... Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once. Of course, observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious price tag. Trumpets. A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps a going rate for aging waxworks, riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant 200 pounds. The sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam? I do not. Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the policeman and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in a special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. I just had a amazing idea. Okay, hear me out, okay? When ColeHillChills starts making merch, we make a ColeHillChills Monopoly edition. And all the places are different video games we played along the way, you know? The top expensive ones would be like Metopia or like Ace Attorney, you know? And you start off with Animal Crossing, like how we played along the years. No. What do you mean no coffee? All the figures could be significant characters we've made along the way. or the pieces could be your Mii's. That would be so good. So good. I would play as coffee cups. Pick a good game, but you can't make like other games customizable like you can Monopoly, you know? It works. It works so well. No, I feel like the pieces would have to be like characters that are very significant to what we played or something. Like there could be a pepper token, there'd be a me token, there would be a raccoon for Glenn. There would be a burger token for sure. What other significant characters are there? I feel like a goofy character. Yuck. But no one wants to play Monopoly. But it's so easy to customize. Listen, just think it over, guys. Think it over, okay? That's our big plan so far. The big one, ColeHillChills Monopoly. That'll be the big one. Clem wants a ColeHillChills bucket hat. No, you don't. You would not wear a bucket hat. The old man must be united with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Your plan sucks. Yeah, well, your plan swallows. It's a great plan. I love my plan. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. And there's the wax. I see I've stunned you all into silence. You have, Hurley, you have. And you're obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot. If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. The notorious Naruto. 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So, that would mean he's the particular ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman. Ottermole. Ottermole? Is that a real thing? I've never heard of it before. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. Yeah. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. And it turned out the culprit was the policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Ottermole. So you mean, that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? Indeed, it is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But who is 200 pounds? But is 200 pounds a lot of money for a wax model? It'd be enough to afford one of the latest STEM carriages, if that puts things into perspective. So, it is quite a lot then. Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down. That bubbly wax is looking more and more ominous. Ugh, the smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me. Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris. Is that all right? To make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions. Of course it's all right. We'll soon set things straight. Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tuspels vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tuspels, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Who wants to hear a cool story about how I got home from school and no one was in, so I checked my phone location app, saw my dad was at the hospital, rung him, asked why he was at the hospital, and found out he'd gone to the doctor for some undisclosed to me reason. The doctor told him she thought he was having a heart attack, so he drove to the hospital, as any heart attacker does, and then was given the all clear, and then came home and went to work after saying, "Good in it." Heart attack 1 minute and work the next. Goodbye, darlings. Because that's the story. You heard it anyway. Silly doctors. Bro! Yeah, I'm so sorry. That must have been really scary. Man, that's not cool. I'm glad your dad's okay, though. Jeez, that's insane, man. If I even thought I was having a heart attack, I would definitely take the rest of the day off. I'm like, yep, that's enough for today. To begin with, we must have looked exactly at the foot of the museum. The 200 pounds. Bum, ba, dum, bum, bum, dum. She definitely looked in this direction. It's true. But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for 200 pounds. But he's all good. Jesus, kid. I'm so sorry, man. My mom drove. That's very smart of you to figure out where he went through the phone's detection thing. Having a stroke? Oh my god. Bro. Like, that's just not, like, dangerous for yourself. It's also dangerous for everyone else on the road, you know? He'd supply transport, right? She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance. Let's follow the furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it. Public notice. The man? Maybe? Wax work for sale! Would anyone really buy models of mass murderers? I think I'd rather have 200 pounds in my pocket. Exactly. You could buy one of those brand new types of steam carriage. That's what I'd spend it on if I had it, no question. Oh, I'd buy all the herbs in the world. There must be another explanation for the money. Okay, so it's not the sign. The portly man. It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. Just not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model of mass murderer. I'm not sure I'd pay 200 pounds for him. I don't think the man's up for sale. Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put up there on purpose either. Where have I seen him before? Is there anything else I can look at? Oh, I can. Oh. Hello, note on the wall. What's that note doing pinned on the wall there? Oh, yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from his room. The price for his safe return is 200 pounds. Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October. What? This is. It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone's kidnapped. Yes, it's a ransom note. Exactly. Well, that's clearly it then. We saw a car crash once, and as hard as it was, not to say you can't park there, Britain moment. Turns out the guy driving had a heart attack, knew what was happening, tried to slow the car, and swerved into the railing. Oh! It was later found that in the paper that he had passed. No! That's so sad. My mother went to confront. Aww! Kin, bro, you saw a tragedy in firsthand. Oh my god. That's so scary, man. Have any of you guys been in a car crash? I have not, thankfully. Oh, that's right. Glove corrected me. I was in a car crash. Me and my mom were driving to a rehearsal, and we hit like 5 deer. And like all of them, they were all passing the road at the same time. It was awful. It was very scary. You T-boned someone? That was a good long time. Oh wow, wow, yikes, queen. A few close calls. Okay, good. That's good, Ken. That's good. Take that. I was playing Luigi's Mansion 2 on my DS. I remember it so clearly. That spin though. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness. Abducting a waxwork. Yeah, 200 pounds is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it. The model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have. In summary then, the 200 pounds you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is the poor gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? Lucky no got hurt. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Queen. So, if the waxworker was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is? Dear to Kamikaze died into my car when I was driving near E Tavern's house a few years ago. So, right? Running over deer, or like deers hitting your car is awful. It's just, I hate it. I hate every second of it. Ugh, it was very scary. We could just ask him when he comes around. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Yes, you're right. Harley's trying so hard, we mustn't let him down. Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tussbell trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Bro, there's a hand coming from behind you. Wait, is it? And that's definitely not your hand. Look at that face. Look at that moody face. Oh, she's the best. And you get the people in the background. Ah! Oh no! Don't stab me, please. Please help me. Don't stab me. Anyways. This is just Madame Tussbell's right hand, isn't it? Yes, it must be. I can clearly see your left hand after all. Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look. Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please. And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard. You mean it's made of wax? Bum bum ba-dum. Bum 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 bum. Ka-ching! What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. How could you? The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be the right hand, but closer inspection reveals that is in fact a left hand. Ah. And what's masculine as well? In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of the waxwork model. Wow. Oh, that is a giant arm. Some of the visitors to the museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, the gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir. No small keepsake.
Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you can go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back.
And the result, the scene we see before us, he was not unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. It was a very large lorry coming in our other direction. The deer ran in front of it, missed it by a hair, and slammed into my car. Oh, the lorry had hit it, and it would have been launched straight through my windshield. Bro! Well, thank goodness it didn't, Coffee. Oh my goodness.
According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to the other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his true identity. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tospel's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly.
Oh, he's missing an arm.
What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Ah, well that settles it, that then.
Right. This isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's been ripped off, from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course. That ties in with what we just found out.
Take that!
Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only to observe his shoulder stub.
No such boonless human walks this earth. Of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model.
And I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes.
It turns the spotlight off. Alright, that's enough of that. He's been quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man. Naturally! What other explanation could there be?
And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it?
Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely, and he hasn't moved a muscle, and almost in fact, as if he were a waxwork. I feel like he won't be the waxwork. I think that's for the scarf, man.
It was all over the, whoops.
A killer policeman called Automole, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price, though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Garrett's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for 200 pounds. This is crusty old killer policeman Automole. Really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da-dum. His foot. Twitch! We're on twitch.com! No, sorry, it's twitch.tv. It's definitely his foot twitching.
Look at this! The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
Are we saying all of this right beside him and he's not saying a word? Like, dude.
He seems to be fast asleep, though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then. So you mean?
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or a twitch.
And look at his arm too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we?
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da-dum.
The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. Twitch.
In other words, the splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard.
Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then.
Then there you have it. Well, man on spells. Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep.
But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence?
No doubt the price tag is of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruto?
Yes! The secret sign that used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because, as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, the detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. I love that. I love the little routine.
The waxwork of this especially ruthless killer from the exhibit has been kidnapped.
And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. Bum, bum, bum. Well, you can't really say solved now, can you, if it's still a mystery? Elementary, my dear, elementary. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-ba-dum.
All sorts of people visit my museum here, men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway.
Ooh, her witchy theme song, though. Aw, she's so cute.
Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madame. I am gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I have no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted, simp, you know what, Drippy, you go play Splatoon. Go shoot ink, okay? Go shoot ink.
Yes, tragically it was.
Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much details as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Alrighty then. The spooky song. I love it, man. Wow. Alright, the stolen waxwork.
Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from my special exhibit here.
It was your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed.
And I found the ransom note in its place.
The cupboard must have broken in during the night and taken it then, right?
So this waxwork was stolen. It was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact.
Oh?
The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor.
Who's the Professor?
Not a name I've heard of.
So, Mr. Naruto, it seems the circle is complete.
Sorry?
The Professor's case happened around the time I was born, didn't it?
Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital.
10 years ago?
Yes, at exactly the time. The Barak von Zieks graduated from university, in fact. Uh-oh.
What? Surely he's not sane.
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. As you surmised, it was the Professor's case.
Who is the Professor then?
The Professor?
It was a series of gruesome murders that had all over London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
And now he's immortalized, here in wax of all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction.
But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zieks?
You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of British aristocracy. Members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through their country's administration.
Members of the... Ah, wait! Of course! What Professor Hairbrain said. Lord Van Ziek is from a family of noble blood.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gee golly.
It was the fifth victim that led to Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of... It's his brother. Clint Van Zieks.
No! I don't believe it! Van Zieks?
That's a very Phoenix Wright thing to say. I'm sure you can piece together the rest of yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today.
I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past.
Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do. At the waxwork exhibit.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well.
No, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzed involved you coming to visit me here.
Wait, what? Oh, who's talking? Oh! Oh!
It's been too long. It really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak.
It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in prison of all places.
I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen.
Yo, seeing Van Zeeks out in public compared to other people, he is broad. He goes to the gym. Like, look how big his... I mean, the shoulder pads definitely add to it, but, like, look how wide his upper body is. Tomorrow, the court will decide.
Yes! I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. A terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it.
Yo, he's looking directly at the camera. That's so intimidating. I must warn you.
Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you?
Yes.
Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories.
The glasses.
Barrack, are you really?
What?
Never mind. I know that you have my best interest at heart.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else.
Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barrack.
Until tomorrow. The way he looks directly at you. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. Boom, 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 boom. To be continued. To be continued. You'd. That's my song, guys. Clem, without a heartbeat waiting, went, no. Jeez, wow, okay. At least I can come to you when I need an honest opinion.
I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey.
Oh, Clem and I looked it up, and because I was like, what flag is that? The German one is black, red, and yellow. And the German flag used to be black, white, and red. That's why it's now in this era, black, white, and red. So at least they did a little bit of research, man. You know, they're in the right era at least.
Hi, Mr. Naruto. Good morning, Professor Hairbrain. Hi, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity.
I didn't say that last stream. If you did, I completely missed it. Because I remember asking, but I don't think anyone responded. If so, my bad. But otherwise, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me that it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? I think it's probably all in the mind. Ah, yes, well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruto? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life! To save the secret of the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public.
No, I actually typed it out. Yeah, no worries, Coffee Man.
Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail.
My commemorations, Mr. Naruto. You appear to have been lumbered with a most tiresome case here. Oh, never mind. That was Sherlock.
Mr. Chalmers! I didn't expect to see you here. That was very mean, Rudo, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him up. Ha! Ho! Ha! Is it? Are you? Sherlock Show!
Do 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 do. Indeed, sir. I am he. Sherlock Show. Do 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 do.
Oh, I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany. Ah, yes. Rant's magazine is on sale in Germany, too. This month's installment was sublime. Introduction in the invention of silver blades was wonderful.
Ah, yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall.
No, that was the speckled band.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay.
Oh,
I have urgent business with Madame Tospel.
you mean your waxwork job?
No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madam has engaged my services.
Ah, so you're trying to get the bottom of that ransom note, are you?
The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. Are you going to react to the Mario movie trailer on stream? When does it come out? Is it today? Is it happening, like, soon? I feel like I shouldn't, because copyright. But, like, I'd be tempted to. Reform telehealth. Oh, that's why. That makes sense, Coffee. It didn't seem like a good time for a TED Talk about historical flags. Yeah, that could have gone long. Literally the time when you end. We'll see. Remind me when it comes close to it, Drippy. I'll see where I am in the game. Possibly. The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention.
No, well, never mind then. I understand.
Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be easy as proverbial pie. If it's presented as a direct, then you can react to it. I can? Then maybe? I've never done a direct reaction. That'd be cool. I'd like to. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description.
Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley.
Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have quite insatiable desire for pie. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh my god, I haven't seen it yet. Glem and I haven't caught Glem up in Mob. We still need to do that. Is it good? Did you like it? Did you like it, Trippy?
Oh yes, quite, definitely, absolutely, I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck?
I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Hairbrain.
Ho ha ho! Why, thank you.
Before I depart, Mr. Naruto, a word in your ear, if you please.
No, what's this about?
Chill and kind of relatable. Oh, I love. Ugh. Glenn, we have to start watching Mob. Well, as you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation, such as attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, is quite impossible.
But the professor said the demonstration was a success.
Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I've read the professor's bunny brains paper about it too, Bruno, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree? But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding, in fact, succeed? That's contradictory.
And it's that contradiction that will be the heart of the trial, I've no doubt.
What's that supposed to mean?
Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow.
See you later, Hurley.
I want to see you react to Jim Gariffin's stuff about Canada. Oh? Like you can't ask about where you can get out in Regina without feeling like a pervert? What? What is his stuff on Canada? Is it a stand-up routine?
Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Bruno. But chin up. You can do it.
Oh, what about you, Iris?
No, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see.
Is stand-up? Okay, good. I love stand-up. Send me a link to it, Coffee. In Discord. Like, private message me. Because otherwise, I will absolutely forget by the end of the stream.
It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is.
That sounds ominous.
Counsel for the defense, the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once.
Run away.
Bayleaf Bay.
An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. And as a scientist who's convinced that it did.
That's the last time I sent you a link? What link did you send me last time? Did I not watch it?
That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Rhinosuke. That's the key to this success. That's the key to this case.
Sometimes I half read a sentence and then I complete it as if how I think it should be completed, and then I read it, I'm like, oh, it said something different, but like at the same time it said something the same, you know? Alright, ooh, new people! In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Albert Harebrain. I now call upon the counsels of the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The link to the Jim Gaffigan stand-up will be talked about right now. Wait, you already sent me the link? No, you didn't! Shut up! No, you didn't! To be fair, it took Drippy a year to make me watch the next Adventure Time episode. So, like, you know, I'm sure it's just on cue. I'm sure I'll get to it eventually.
The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more?
Oh, yo, Shisato's dead.
I'm without Shisato-san today.
Honestly, good. We don't need the side talk.
Look, is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual?
So, I must say, I recollect the victim of this case all too well, Mr. Odie Assman. Mr. Assman was well known as a financer, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. Santa! It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zeeks. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty.
Because every member of the jury had been bribed, by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go the extreme lengths to keep their freedom.
But 2 days ago, on 21st October, Mr. Assman met his end. Yes, I am calling him Assman because it's funny. The work of the Reaper, was it? If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Assman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Harebrain. Very well, then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 of you ready to fill your societal duty? Oh, hello.
I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord.
Oh, hello. To have a man's fate in the palm of one hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. Oh, we have a magician. Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, all are nothing more than performances. Are you a scientist?
Any suspicious scholar that defies the reputation of science deserves to hang.
What is that? Yo, this looks like a character from Little Nightmares. I looked it up. May not be safe to react tomorrow. I figured, Drippy. She looks like she's a puppet or a mouse or something.
We have to listen to one side on both sides, the fence and then settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
And this is the policeman who was asleep.
Wasn't it like this in my day? Wasn't like this at all.
Having corn enjoy her.
It's corn! A big lump knob! Oh my god, why did I not think of that sooner?
The police killer, Autumn Mole, look-alike. What again?
Okay, sorry, 1 second. I just have to write down the potential title. It's corn. There we go. Anyways. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing.
And he's exhausted as ever, it seems.
No, as I'm sure you are well aware. Wait, the girl who sat in that chair last time had a typewriter, didn't she? And she would ching, and now it's someone with a corn, and it's making the same sound effects.
The incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition shortly after its opening.
Though the death toll could have been far worse, with the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators.
A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, of the whole world will be on this trial.
Asset saving at its finest? Huh? What?
It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zeeks.
He did it. At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world.
One of science's latest developments, I take it.
Corn and typewriter woman using same anime. Oh, I understand.
The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technology advantage.
The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis.
Good lord!
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled.
Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility? I don't believe it. That's for sure.
Disassembling people with electricity. My goodness, how shocking.
The whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny. Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society. Are you not an expert in your field? I am, and my word on the matter can be considered finer. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock.
So, this expert and Mr. Sholmes are in agreement. It's impossible.
My cats are facing horrors unimaginable in the roleplay. I am going to trauma. What, Queen? What's happening?
What is the prosecution's view on the matter?
The prosecution would assert.
Check gamer chit chat. Geeky has the goods. Geeky has goods? What goods? Heaven. Oh. A manga store? I can't really zoom in. Splatoon manga? Yo, he's winning, son. Splatoon. I want to read Splatoon manga. That sounds so dope.
The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success.
What?
What's rot? Order!
The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on this new hypothesis to take Mr. Asman's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant.
But...
This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was a carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim.
Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims.
Gladly, my lord. Bay leaf. Razor leaf. Show the first witnesses to the stand. Bum bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question, and in charge of the following investigation.
Uh-huh.
Albert Hairbrains, this is a scientist.
You were born in England, but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, correct?
Yes, and that's right. After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery. Which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at a great exhibition.
Oh, Willie Bear.
What you demonstrated was incredible, all right. An incredible explosion.
But the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Yeah, everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, there was a terrible accident, but demonstration of my hypothesis was a success.
Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in its photograph taken by the forensic investigation team.
It looked like he was shot.
This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibit, no less.
How are his glasses still on his face?
That's right, my lord. Significant ran straight into it.
I see. Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence.
Well. Mr. Courtwood, the victim of the incident was Mr. Odie Ashman. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being. That was the man who financed the research for the experiment and demonstrated an demonstration himself.
That's a stick-on mustache, if I've ever seen one. Wait, on which character, Coffee? I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct?
Exactly.
The dead guy? Hold on, what did he look like? yeah, it does look like that. What did the picture look like? Oh, it absolutely is. Twitch emotes, I think, shouldn't exist. And half of the people making wacky faces. What are those? A snail shell? A crown on a pillow? A weird dragon? A check mark? Some dude? I don't know what those are. Yeah, I agree with you, Trippy. Recently, Twitch made not pop figures, but some kind of figures based off of like popular Twitch emotes. Like one of them is the Bob Ross going, really? One of them is the Kappa face. The other one is the girl going, hello. And they made a giant trailer showing them off. And they look nothing like the emotes. Like every time it showed one of the characters, I was like, what is this one?
Who is this supposed to be? And then it would show, I'm like, really? The only one I could kind of guess was the Bob Ross one because, like, his afro, obviously. But none of them looked like they were supposed to. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, it was very much a Twitch thing.
Exactly.
But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right, that must be it. My splendid machine. My poor splendid machine.
You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Science Act.
What? The wreckage? The wreckage?
But that being the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate, malicious act? Extremely simple, my lord.
I beg your pardon.
Isn't that right, witness?
What? Sorry, me?
No, your neighbor.
Yes, sir. It was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty.
What? How can he possibly think that?
Twitch emotes feel like an inside joke. Same, Coffee. I completely agree. Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to formal testimony. Will you explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder? Ba-boom. The corpse. Sorry.
The corpse that went crashing through the Crystal Tower had a broken neck.
Hi, I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam. Projection, that's all. That was a mistake.
But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in the chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the chest heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fella's the only one who could have done it.
Bum bum bottom. An extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart. Poor dude.
Information I would really like to have had heard from someone other than the judge.
The coroner says that would have been all but instant from a wound like that.
You could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused.
No, no, and no! Then that couldn't be the further from the truth.
I have here the experiment plan documentation that was submitted to the security team. The victim shot himself inside something called the bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly. To the second level of the Crystal Tower, about 25 yards away.
The experiment did not go accordingly to plan. However, as the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to position higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in mid-air. Oh. From where it subsequently fell, crashing through the glass of the tower, large round windows. So he's saying the machine did work? My word! One assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact with the tower.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident, a terrible accident.
Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you.
No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart.
Murder weapon? What are you saying?
This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record. Your request is granted, counsel. All right.
I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. And the only other person on the stage was Mr. Osman, was a disgraceful excuse for a scientist.
Then really, by all accounts, it must have been.
Hef, hard to think otherwise. Really?
Very well. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. I need to focus here. It's been a while.
This is your moment, you better never let it go. Bum bum. Ba 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 ba. Let me look through my evidence real quick. Bum bum. 47, British, time of death, 220. 220, guys, 220. Cause of death, hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart, inflicted by a sharp implement. Additional observations. A broken vertebrae, most likely resulting from impact after a sudden fall from considerable heights. Okay. Well, I feel like the piercing could have been from this. It's clearly a, what's it called? Crossbow. The crossbow was found very far away from the where he got shot. Boom, boom, boom. We don't have the bow though. We just have the crossbow. And then there's this. Boom, boom, boom. And there's this. I can analyze this.
It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But apparently Mr. Sean's methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. It's green. Was anyone wearing green that day? We analyzed this already. Bum 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 bum. Lost cat, no. I think that's everything we have. All right. Let's start pressing, people. That's what I'm thinking too, Coffee. It was part of a hot air balloon. But there's been no report. Like, I feel like that'd be huge. If there was a hot air balloon that exploded or something, people would hear about it, you know? But that's my thoughts too. It has to be a hot air balloon.
Are you suggesting that because he fell from a considerable height?
Exactly. Which highlights something else about this whole rum business.
What's that?
I'm standing by my type, a hot air baboon. The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was a success.
Ah!
After the explosion, the creature that fell inside suddenly appeared out of nowhere in midair.
So although the experiment ended in disaster, the so-called instantaneous kinesis did actually occur. Remind us, Professor. What was the cause of the fatal disaster?
So, the angle of the projection is critical, is it? And you calculated it yourself, personally. Absolutely. The calculation is far too complicated for anyone but me to carry out.
Only you got this wrong, didn't you?
Yes, that's right. That's the point. The calculation is so complicated, even I can make mistakes. Do people fall for that browsing confidence? I should try it. Yippee! I took into account the subject's height and weight, and the wind direction, the ambient temperature. I considered every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened. Obviously, then, you had to include the weight of the clothes Mr. Aspen was wearing at the same time, I suppose. Ha! Crackling comets! The answer should have been 3! So much for safety first. The 3 must be for safety third.
Bum 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 bum. Bum. Oops. Cole, do you like brownies? I love brownies. I love brownies. Why? Why do you ask, Jippy? Do you have some for me?
Another fatal injury, you say? That doesn't make any sense.
What? I didn't think I'd have to spell this out, but here we go. Just because there were 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it?
Too right.
Obviously, at first, we thought the broker died due to the spine snapping in half as well.
But you're saying that's not the case.
You'll get your answer once I finish my fish and chips, if you don't keep butting in every few seconds.
We all know that's a bottomless bag.
Yo, they called that out. The victim plummeted 30 feet into a glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that as a cause of death.
Right, but that's what we all thought. But it was a red herring, wasn't it?
Har har har? What? What was the joke? No reaction to the idea of an AI drone. Oh, I totally missed that, Coffee. I'm putting hot air baboon into one of those AI generators. Do show us the result, Coffee. I do love brownies. Why? I feel like you're setting me up for something. Is this a these jokes? These nuts joke? For sea... Yo, that sea otter's richer than me. Cat! How's it going, Cat? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Clem says hi, Cat, in a very sad, weak voice. Boom, 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 boom.
There was a laser on his chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp.
Boom, 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 boom.
The defense knew nothing of his crucial information.
The prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation team only this morning. That was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense.
Sarcastic and insincere. Thanks.
That has the same vibes as I hid the updated autopsy report. Is like brown is like poop? That's a joke? Since when? That's awful. I don't like that at all.
So, what was the nature of this sharp object?
Among the accused tools that were in use at the demonstration, one is of particular interest. This.
Oh yes, that would appear to be some kind of screwdriver.
Oh, there he is. My trusty little companion, Andrew. Andrew? Of course. Ah, do you know each other already? He's one of my dear friends, like all my tools. I've named them all, you know. We're one big happy family.
That look.
Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother, Michael, is a crosshead.
Well, it would appear that your beloved Andrew has a red stain on his shank.
Ah, that isn't.
It's blood. Beyond all reasonable doubt.
No.
Hot. Oh, I gotta see this. Hot air boo. That's not what I was expecting. It's
just a hot air balloon, but instead of a basket, it's a bunch of baboons. Not what I was thinking. Not what I was expecting, but interesting. Very interesting.
That's not all. That long, sharp shape of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wounds.
What? What?
Order! The court will enter this friend of the defendant as evidence.
So, one of the professor's harebrained tools is the murder weapon. Great.
I thought this was going to be what shot from the crossbow, but I guess not.
This is blood. Mr. Asmon's, no doubt. This is the problem with looking at murder tools. I've seen this unusual shape handle before. It's the same screwdriver that was lodged in the grill on the floor of the Keatis machine. Which could be important information, so I should definitely make a note of it.
Was found poking through the grill in the base of what makes the machine. It's a very distinctive handle. Okay. Would it fit in this? I feel like you could absolutely shoot the screwdriver.
Huh! There's some sort of lever here. What is this? It looks like a cross.
I imagine he's like going over his evidence, and all of a sudden, a crossbow points up, like, "Yo, get him! He's got a weapon!"
I think it's probably used for the same thing too.
Crossbow. Dum 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 dum.
This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right. It's sort of a bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with his bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I'd had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training.
Of course he was good at archery. Because Kazuma shoots you straight in the heart. Is there like a name on it at all? Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna ask one of my artist friends to draw me real art of hot air baboon for my birthday. That's lovely, Coffee.
Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You see, able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibit grounds.
Dum, 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 dum. All right. Well, now we have a crossbow in our inventory.
What grounds do you have for saying that?
Nah, do you really need to ask? There are only 2 people on the public experimentation stage, in front of the whole crowd.
The victim, Mr. Odie Asman, and the accused, Professor Harebrain. A few years ago, one drew a hermit cat. Aw, that's so cute. And we all know for certain that before the experiment, the victim was alive.
That's right, I saw it with my own eyes.
Furthermore, following the explosion and the kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body.
In other words, only someone else on stage with the victim could possibly have done it.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me!
A hermit krat? Oh, crab cat. I understand.
Professor Harebrain, do you have some information that may be relevant here?
I thought it was just a typo, like cat with an R. I get it.
Professor! Ah, sorry! I was just calculating the optimum coefficient of electrolysis supermodel. And the witness stand is the best place for that. You seem as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Yes, that's right. Of course! He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he?
And not enough artistic talent to satisfy. I feel you on that one, Coffee.
Yeah, that's right. No one else could have stabbed the victim. Hey.
I don't know, but there's no way that I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Assman, as I say.
Hey.
Explain, please, Professor. Of course, this cold-hearted policeman may not be aware that I suppose, but humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood running continuously through their veins.
No, I had heard.
Then surely you see, if I plunged something that size of Andrew into the man's chest, the whole stage would have been a bloodbath. No, a blood swimming pool. Ah! But thousands of Londoners were watching me at the time. And yet, not one of them claims to have seen a swimming pool of blood.
Well, no, I suppose not.
You see, not one.
I feel like Coffee would be too powerful if they had powers. So the universe took them away just in case.
True. I didn't see anything like that.
Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument.
Do we actually have, for the first time ever, a competent witness? Yo, it's a miracle. Ah, here comes the wine. Pray forgive the discourtesy if I savor a drop from my hollow chalice to accompany my old friend's adducing. Here's to you, Albert.
Oh, you're too kind, Barrick. But I'm really not a patch on you.
Oh, didn't even take a sip. No, you're not.
No?
You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility.
I have.
A particular situation in which very little bleeding would result from a stab wound.
Yeah, of course.
Inspector, enlighten the court, please.
Yes, sir.
Where are they going with this?
Very well, you amend your form testimony now. Bum 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 bum. Must have been left in his body whilst he was beamed through the air? Impossible. It was found in the grates of the machine.
Hold it! Why would you think that, Inspector?
With any wound, it's only when you pull the weapon out that profuse bleeding occurs. Once it's still lodged in the body, it acts as a stopper of sorts, for want of a better word.
I see.
You don't need a medical degree to be aware of this fact. It's common knowledge for any investigator.
Ugh. Where's Susanderson when you need her?
If you ask me, this broke matched what she was doing from the view of his body before stabbing Asman's chest. Then he beamed the victim off the stage with his fancy device. The screwdriver is still where he planted it.
I would never do such a thing. Not to my precious tools. I would never use them for such dirty work. You only use tools for their intended purpose. That's common knowledge for any scientist.
The world is not ready for someone who can just make hermit crats and hot air baboons on a whim. The fact remains, the lack of blood at the scene can easily be explained, as the prosecution has demonstrated. Bum 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 bum. Okay, but does the thing say it was found in the machine? Yes, it literally does. Literally. present. Wait, let me save first. It's been a while. I'm a bit rusty. The rust is still there. I am very mid at 2D art. Coffee says mid. I love it. I love it. Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Objection. You say that while the weapon remains in the body, there's very little bleeding. Is that unequivocal?
Look, there was no blood on the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stopped. The only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in its body, stopping any heavy bleeding.
It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend. Even on your side of the world.
Hello, fellow youth.
Yes, but about the screwdriver. The thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves, on the experimentation stage.
What? What?
It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine, poking through a metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
No, well, now you come to mention it, yes.
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravene the Special Scientist Act?
No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. I just let him look, nothing more. I mean, very clearly he wasn't to touch a thing.
Yes, that's true. This screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it?
What are you getting at?
If this tool had still been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine, then it shouldn't have still been on the stage.
By the way, first go with the AI. I made another type and had to redo it. Oh, I've never used the AI art things before. I don't know. I put in hot hair baboon. Oh no. Oh no. Was it on fire?
That's right. It should have been beamed across the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Assman. And been found still lodged in the victim's chest.
There's fish and chips all over the courtroom by now, man. Order! How do you explain this, Inspector? It was just really fluffy baboons. Oh, that's cute.
I don't.
It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person was with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously that should have been beamed to the destination as well.
You!
This is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis was a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place.
Is it possible that the explosion just like sent him in the air, you know?
Alright, time to tighten the screws here.
Haha, with a screwdriver.
My lord! If the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in these arguments, we can conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied on. Lord Van Zeeks is stumped.
Hello?
Hold it!
Do you have something to say, witness?
Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equations hold. Mr. Naruto, don't worry. About what? Without delving into details, there is no inconsistency. What? Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Assman's chest, my trusty tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations. What? What?
Dude, this guy is not helping our case. Drippy? Told you so.
It would seem your illusions have been shattered. Clearly we should hear the accused's explanation. Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation. Watch Spooky Month? I do want to watch that. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talk about it. I do want to watch that. I'll let you know next year when I finally watch it.
Just when I found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists!
Very well, the defendant will testify again. Provided with the scientific explanation as to why the inconsistency asserted by the defense fails to hold.
That means in 2 years, 2 years tops, in that time frame, it will be watched by me. In which case, you will need to remind me about 70 times, but it will happen. It is a pretty long series. Oh, I thought it was just like a really short series, to be honest. Interesting.
In the name of Apollo, I will, my lord.
Three minutes? 3 whole minutes? Drippy, what kind of attention span do you think I have? Are you kidding me? TikTok has ruined it. If a video's longer than 10 seconds, I check out, man. I can't. And episode 2, oh boy. They doubled it? Bro, that's a full-length movie. How 6 minutes? That's incredible. I don't know if I can sit through that, man. I don't know if I can sit through it.
To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that kinesis cannot transport metal, though. Hence, the metal weapon would have stayed put.
I think I already have something that can debunk that. Yeah, the glasses on his face are clearly made of metal.
In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruto isn't inconsistency at all.
Episode 3 and 4 is like 20 minutes? Dude, that takes up my entire day. And that's the whole series. Life's Worth Project. No, that actually sounds really short. I'm really interested to see it.
Mr. Asman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we've built together.
So, the thrust of your testimony, Professor, is...
That based upon his hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved by this method of instantaneous kinesis. In other words, since the screwdriver is made of metal, even if it remained lodged in the victim's chest, a subsequent discovery on the stage, despite the victim being found elsewhere, is not an inconsistency. And therefore, Professor Albert Harebrain could still have been the killer.
My great hypothesis holds, you see. We had to make the cage used to contain a subject from wood for that very reason.
I was not addressing you, witness.
Professor Harebrain. Shut up. Yes. Whose side are you on here? I don't take sides, Mr. Naruto. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist after all.
Episode 5 comes out this month. Ooh, do they release a new episode every October? It's a short series, but it's one of those short series where you have to watch it like 15 times to catch all the Easter eggs that you don't notice before. And people have fun QR codes in the background that take you to different websites, which has lore and stuff. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love when they put love into shows. Yearly episodes? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's so cool.
Is he working for us or against us?
Let's see how you cross-examine his testimony, my Nipponese friend. I think I can debunk this without even pressing on him. Let's see if I can do it.
You will. Let me save first just in case, because this might be a shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. Alright, which one to press on? Cannot transport metal. Bum, 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 bum. First try, let's go.
Professor Hairbrain, you say that according to your hypothesis, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct. In that case, I'd ask you to have a look in this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face. You can clearly see that Mr. Aspen is wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim. What? Metal? No! Metal can't! That's not... metal! No!
Whoa!
Women, we've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage. However, your hypothesis correctly predicted that outcome. It should have also predicted that the metal rimmed spectacles will be found in the same place. Ah! My hypothesis! My hypothesis! Professor Hairbrain, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypothesis is clearly flawed. It's dog doo-doo.
Look at him wiggle. Order, order, order! Council, what is the implication of this?
If, on the day in question, the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that the victim was killed somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit. But my hypothesis is sound. I proved it that day. The experiment was a success. The experiment was proof of all my work.
If I could say something here in my capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society.
Yes, juror number 4. Go ahead.
As a man of science, there's one thing I simply cannot abide. And that's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science.
What? Wait! Great Scott! Are you suggesting my science is a suspect?
It's been disproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense from start to finish. Believe me, my fellow jurors, when I tell you that this man is a heel-bounder and a fraud.
I say the record to that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined.
No, never! That machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis! It's protected by the Science Act.
The devil, the blessed I talking about who made it a draft rule?
I don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help the professor?
I don't know. Raise an objection?
Professor Hairbrain is yet to perfect his invention. That would seem to be the case, yes. But even so...
Even so what?
Going to such trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display in public. He would have absolutely had no reason to do such a thing.
Objection!
He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money.
Huh?
If the government was foolish enough to have deemed the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed.
Conspirators?
What would be the value of such a grant? £10?
You're an order of magnitude out, madam. £500 a year!
Oh, I! You could live handsome on that much for years.
The Society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently. And plenty of scientists argue with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you. I assure you.
No, I haven't decided to deceive anyone, least of all the government. My hypothesis is sound. The science is sound. Please, you must believe me.
I lost the camera emoji, but pretend I posted it. Noted. No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains the victim was transported instantly to the Crystal Tower. Is there a screenshot command? Should we try exclamation point screenshot or exclamation point SC? I feel like there is one. Which means that the experiment was a success. There's a camera emoji.
Ha, Barak!
And therefore... Oh my god, there's a counter on it! I didn't even know that. The only person who could possibly have committed this murder is the accused.
Ha, Barak!
Oh, they're both the same! Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Where is it heading? I have no idea.
Make up for last stream. True. My lord, if I may. Yes, Lord Van Zeeks. The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand. New witnesses? What would be the nature of their involvement? They were suspectors of the demonstration at the exhibition who were occupying special seats.
Eyewitnesses.
Very well, the court grants the prosecution's request. I should very much like to hear from eyewitnesses to the incident. The prosecution's stance is clear. This experiment is no pastiche. The accused killed the financier victim there on the public stage before the very eyes of the spectators. Now, my learned friend.
Oh, yes.
It's time for you to make your own stance clear.
There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypothesis. I can definitely see that.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
But where does that leave me?
It doesn't work for you, Queen? Oh, did I make it only for VIPs? That might be the case. That might be the case, Queen. We shall take a short recess now. I'm gonna go play on the swings. You guys deal it out in the sandbox. During which time the prosecution will prepare new witnesses to take the stand. I love going super high and pretending I'm on a roller coaster. As you wish, my lord. In that case, court is adjourned for 20 minutes. To be continued. Oh my god, that's so early. Okay, so it looks like it's VIPs. Boom, boom. I probably did that to prevent it from being spammed or people doing it multiple times at once, you know, to like make it non-accurate number. I can't English.
Mr. Naruto, what on earth were you playing at just now? Or rather, what on earth were you playing at all along? My hypothesis, my amazing hypothesis. You've been picking holes in it from the start.
Ah, sorry about that.
But you promised me. You said you'd prove that dreaded explosion was an accident, not murder. You said you'd keep my precious invention from falling into anyone else's hands. But all you've done so far is try to undermine me. Yes, I did make you promise, you're right. I said that I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there's an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? But if I just run through some equations, yes, you see, it's because my work isn't complete. Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Oh no!
I like this voice.
You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures.
Oh, the music's so nice.
I'm a disaster. Not as a scientist, but as a human being. Well, yeah, pretty much. That might be a little over the top. And while we're on the subject, what about Barrock? He's being awful. Claiming his own university friend to be a murderer, you mean? He's a disaster, not just as a prosecutor, but as a human being. Oh, but no, wait, he's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore.
I did not think it was going to say Homo sapiens. I thought I was going to say something else.
Glad that's cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Ah, yes, what? The machine and demonstration you prepared. They were based entirely on your hypothesis, I presume. There was no trickery involved. I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet. But please, Mr. Naruto, you must believe in it. All right, Professor. I understand.
Counsel defendant. The prosecution witness are ready to take the stand. Court is about to be in session again. Make your way to the courtroom, please. Solar beam.
It all hinges on that demonstration.
That's amazing, Queen. I've always wanted one of those little characters, but like Bakugo. I think that'd be adorable.
The professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims. It leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant.
Practical implementation such as an attempt. It's quite impossible. It's impossible, guys. It's impossible.
So really, what should I try to prove here?
The Old Bailey. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, rest in peace. I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution. Are you ready for the new witnesses to testify? The prosecution is ready, my lord.
As is the defense, my lord.
So, Lord Van Zeeks, I believe these next witnesses saw the demonstration. No. Oh yeah, demonstration. On the day in question with their own eyes. Rest in bozo. Indeed, they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. So the testimony we were about to hear could be considered highly reliable.
Perfect. A detective of all people.
The prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended in tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage at the time, the accused. Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear. So, bring forth your witness now. Bayleaf,
I choose you. Show the witness in with Vine Whip. The witnesses whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. Bum, bum, bum. Hello? Hello? Oh, hi, Genie. Witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court to hear. Balthazar Loon? Balthazar.
Balthazar! Balba. My name is Balthazar Loon. I am the impressor of all the hot air balloons in vicinity of the experimental stage.
I guess there was a hot air balloon.
My name is William Gauchus Sigmund Ormstein. I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. I'm very rich.
That was amazing. Inspector General Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a good detective. Even Erlock Sholmes agrees. I was on security duty at the exhibition, and I got to go up in one of them balloons. It was amazing.
Gina, again.
Will stream be? I don't think it's safe for me to stream the direct streamer. I don't think it would go over well. I feel like I could get copyright striked and in trouble. So I'm gonna pass it on this one. I'll watch it when stream's over, but not on stream. Also, hey, how's it going, man?
But she did mention that she'd been in a disaster from up in a balloon, actually, didn't she? And she clearly loved every minute of it.
I killed a Ninja Turtle and wear his head as a war trophy. There were 3 balloons flying to the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in such balloon at the time and saw events unfold from the skies above.
Yeah, you make it sound like they were in the clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet. Very low.
Well, you can't see nothing if you're flying too high, can ya?
60 feet? About 18 meters then.
Thank you. I also don't know what either of those, how tall that is. But thank you for your introductions. Now you will give your formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage. You went to the fair? How was it, man? How was it? You have such pretty fairs. Like, oh my god, I've never been to one that pretty before.
Yeah, it was an incident terrible. I am only grateful that my balloons were not damaged.
There's this huge bang from the stage, and then the next second, another bang in the sky above us. Okay, so confirmed, another balloon exploded.
And from amid the smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, the cage, it fell from the sky like a stone, and crashed into the crystal tower.
I didn't get a good look on the inside cage, but no one went near it after they crashed into the tower. Bum, bum, boo-doo-dum. A delish burg from a fair? I've never really eaten fair food before. Yeah, Glenn just said my stomach would hate it. A most extraordinary collective account, I must say.
Could I just clarify something?
You know what? This game hinted at it earlier, too. So many characters were like, oh, no, a balloon would first explode before it fell to the ground. I'm like, okay, so they're clearly pointing a balloon exploded.
There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions.
More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around. Here. There were other balloons in the air nearby at the time, carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as power was supplied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called birdcage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon, carrying the witnesses. Interesting. The birdcage appeared at the site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down into the Crystal Tower.
I was very surprised. Suddenly, a cage appeared before my eyes, with a person inside. German was very surprised. Suddenly, a cage appeared before my eyes with a person inside. The blast was so hot, I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide.
I still have lots of money. I still have lots of money.
Not German? Who else has a dialect like that? My goofy thought you said burg cage. A cage made of burgers. The dream.
Precisely, who is this curious infant?
I'm told he's a young noble of Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Exhibition.
Ja. I am here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school.
You have the benefit of a child's point of view in the testimony.
Do we really need that?
Oh, then I remove my mask. This is what I look like.
Oh yes, I see a delightful face, I'm sure.
A Czech Republic. Oh, okay. Ja, everybody just says so.
Great disguise, then.
The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts for the court. Namely, that despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the Crystal Tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused who was with Mr. Assman on the stage could possibly have committed the murder.
Czech? Czech? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yes, thank you, counsel. The prosecution's...
What? Czech? It's Czech? The Czech Republic? Oh. I never would have got that from a C and a Z put together.
The prosecution's views in the matter are quite clear. So, the defense's cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord. Come here.
This common knowledge? Streamer, do you think I have common knowledge? Oh my god, wait, he removed his mask. Do you guys think this is Dream when he was a kid? Baby Dream? Boom. It was an incident, terrible, and I'm grateful that my balloons were not damaged. I think we know which one already. A cage fell? Oh, alright, let's press on all of them. My mans!
There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation stage at the time. I understand. I see. Oh, 3 of them. Bellissimi bambini.
Bellissimi bambini. Ah, my beautiful children.
My bellissimi bambini. They are very popular, signor. Some people pay £10 for one ride. £10? That's more than my annual stipend.
Don't try and curse me? What? What'd I say?
20 pounds a month. That is my pocket money. Royals have all the luck.
I got up there for free, I did. Played the old... I work for the Her Majesty's police card, you know.
Detectives have all the luck. If they're so popular, why would you only be operating such a small number of balloons, though? Because I have too many in the sky. They would crash into each other.
The operators for balloons were decided by lot, with each operator manning a particular area.
See, and the zone above the public experimentation stage is the most profitable. The other impresarios, they hate me.
Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for balloon rides at the exhibit. Perhaps we could hear more about what you actually witnessed at the incident.
Right. I can fill you in there, my lord.
So, you actually saw the accident happen from up in the air?
Yep, and it's amazing what a detective gets to do. I'm telling ya, Odo being a lawyer's a mug's game. You should join the force and we can go flying together.
You know me so well. Yes, well, anyway, could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think?
Everything. We saw everything, because we're up above it all. The dodgy cove climbing into that cage, and that dodgy professor pulling on them levers. And that's when it happened. That's when there was that massive bang and the cage disappeared, just like that.
You are describing the moment the subject's body was decomposed by electricity, I believe. I cannot wait for the Mario movie trailer. Not even just a trailer. A whole direct about Chris Pratt as Mario. I know the way that it's a direct. Do you think they're gonna release a video game, a next Mario video game alongside it? That'd be interesting.
I didn't know what to make of it, but then there was another bang right in my ear. I looked around, and there was a huge, great fireball right next to us in the sky.
That's Peter.
Sorry, excuse me, come again. That voice.
Excuse me.
Master Got. Does your the memory of the day differ?
I think you're thinking of it's too hard about the whole direct thing. I mean, just saying.
Me teacher at the elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use the full name.
Ah, yes, what was that again?
William Gottfried Sigismund Ormstein.
Just the 4 names, then. The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestridge's last remark, perhaps?
Oi, get it right, Oda. It's Inspector Lestrade.
Why does everyone have a problem how I address them at the moment?
That is not what I saw.
Oh?
There was a second explosion, and it was right above our balloon. That is true. But I am sure... Which is what I said, isn't it? 1 minute there was nothing, then the next there was a massive explosion. My teacher at elementary school said that when someone else is speaking, if you are rude enough to interrupt, you will have the most awful life imaginable.
Are all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy?
Oh, I thought I was gonna say something about his money. Just before the second explosion happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky.
A green balloon?
Hey, you what? I never saw nothing like that.
Well, I did. I saw it, and you can't say I didn't. I will complain to the council. I will cry and scream. My testimony isn't true. I am Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it is a lie. That is not allowed.
Just playing the bloody royalty card, are ya? Typical.
Says the orphan, who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's police.
Some streamers are reacting to it and are already live waiting if you want to risk it. A ton of people stream direct reactions like big streamers, plus it's just a trailer at the end of the day. The only worrying thing is that Illumination love using copyrighted music in their trailers. Can't you just mute the YouTube and OBS and we can all watch along? That's a lot though. I think I'll just watch it off stream, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. If it was like, because recently Nintendo changed their rules that you really can't watch directs either. I'm like, oh. I'm going to play it safe for the better good.
In that case, young man, I must ask you to amend your formal testimony. In the interest of cordial national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia.
It was not the skies that exploded. It was a green balloon that was next to us at the time. Definitely the one we have in our inventory.
A green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that?
Of course I am. I am a proud Bohemian prince. All the questions are making me boring.
I think you mean bored.
Ugh, English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior.
Ragazo, it is a very wrong lie.
Lie?
Flying balloons never explode. For the same reason, the planets never explode. It is logical. Please tell me that doesn't mean logical.
If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia.
Madai!
I will have the army come and shoot all your stupid balloons out of the sky. All of them. I would like another.
Here you are, Your Highness. If only all international incidents were so easily resolved.
Now that peaceful relations have been restored here in the courtroom, perhaps we could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon?
No, I did not see the explosion myself, however. The cage fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the Crystal Tower.
The cage fell?
Did you see that actually happen? Hey, no, in reality I did not. I saw it after it hit the tower. There was a grand confusion around the stage. I ran to see what had happened. I was terrorized with the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. Well,
I should do laundry.
I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I looked up at the sky, my precious balloons were still there.
I saw it, though. I saw it slam into the tower. After all, I'm a detective now. Enough.
Then tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade.
That's what I like to hear. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after it crashed into the tower.
Was it you who gave the order to keep the people away?
Hey, us. Use your head, Oldo. How could it have been? I was up in a balloon, weren't I?
Right.
So because I wasn't available, so it was the boss who had to leg it over there. It was getting shoved and kicked all by the panicking spectators as he tried to seal off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, and I can tell ya, amazing. Me too. I am very excited.
I hope they do like really well in the Mario movie. I hope it's not a Sonic #1 movie. I hope it goes straight to Sonic the second movie, you know? Chores are for boars.
Poor Inspector Gregson. So anyway, I couldn't see the cage that well because of all the smoke. I didn't really want to see, to be honest. I was scared out of me wits. Keep it together, Inspector. The prosecution really is asserting the demonstration was genuine. But what if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? That would mean that the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. The 2 explosions would have thrown everyone watching into panic for sure. I think I need to find out more about what exactly people saw at the time.
All right. I think I can present the green balloon on the 3rd one. Bum, 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 bum. Green balloon. Oops. Oh, I did not mean to press. Actually, let me just load. I don't want to. Yo, yeah, pop off, King. Yes, rank up. Is it still the same battle pass? Is it still season 1 for Splatoon? Boom, 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 boom. No? What? What did I get wrong? My balloons were. What about on this one, maybe? Got it.
Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all 3 of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosions, it would have been terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. Ah, I think it may be. See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. Sorry? The envelope. Pardon. It is a large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to rip it when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did explode that day. If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Loom, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence.
Oh, I'm playing rank map. Right. Stupid me. I forgot they'd be different. Everyone on board was killed. Oh no. Having just spent 10 whole pounds of experience. How awful. Seems to me like those things crash 50% of the time anyway. Objection. I was getting the season pass and the ranks mixed up like they were the same thing. The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materializing shifted to a location occupied by a balloon. Causing the balloon to explode! Yes, eminently plausible. An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pertinent facts.
This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Loom? You are suggesting that I am a liar. A person died in a balloon incident.
There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loom. The victim was a sole fatality that day. Fatality? Fatality.
That's right, I can prove it. Balthazar Loon is not a liar. There is no such balloon in the sky. It is not impossible. You're saying it's impossible. Why?
This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
Aye!
Objection.
But we can't ignore the facts that somebody appeared to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon.
I concur. There is clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition.
Ah! Grazie, my lord.
Boop, boop, boo, doo, 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 doo. Ba-dum, 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 dum, dum.
As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an explosion, what a catastrophe.
But you can't get away from the fact that a burnt-out bit of the cloth was found at the scene, can ya? The coppers at the yard reckoned it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage.
This stupido ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons had the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway.
He does seem to be very dressed in red and blue.
So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you?
Si, exactamente. If he even saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business.
Yeah, yeah, his hat's in a hot air balloon is great.
I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia.
If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war, all out war. Another.
Oh, yes, of course, sir. What happened to all out war?
There's like, what, a total of 4 or 5 balloons on the roof on the stuck to the ceiling right now.
Mr. Loom certainly doesn't appear to be lying, but that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here.
If the defense is unable to find fault with the witness's statements, the court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend.
The situation is clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes.
The counsel, you may now cross-examine a witness. Bum 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 ba da da dum ba da da dum ba da dum bum ba da dum. Yeah. I know. I'm aware I'm butchering the Italian. I'm sorry. The red and blue stripes. Yeah, this is definitely not red and blue. Why are there only 2 balloons in this picture? Yeah, there were 3 before. Why are there only 2 now? Okay. Oops. Bum 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 bum. I was gonna ask them to tell you how to say thank you so you stop mispronouncing it so badly. Grazia? Oh, grazia. Then it started I didn't care much. Gracier? Gracier. Did I say it right or wrong? Did I say it right or wrong? Gracier. Okay. Grazza. So Grazza? Grazza? Grazia. Eh. I'm not saying No, I'm saying A. So which is it then? What? Eh? Eh, like elephant? Grazia? Grazia. I'm not saying No, it's elephant. Grazia. Eh. Listen. Grazia elephant. You just said A. Yes, you did. That sounded the exact same to me. I agree. Moving on, Jiffy. Listen, I'm trying to learn Spanish, okay? I don't have the brain power to learn Italian as well. Oh, I still don't hear it.
You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe.
Try to open the window a little bit. It's getting hot in here.
Senor! I might not notice if I was giving 100 lentils and one missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons.
8 minutes? Oh, heck yeah.
Do you believe I can make a mistake about something so grand and expensive?
I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I had the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons. There would appear no mistake has been made then.
Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for such a menial task.
What? Me? I tell you what I told the boss. You send kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true. But the boss spotted it and said he'd have a go himself in the. I can't read this, man.
Ha!
If they fell to the ground in this potion, what a catastrophe. True.
It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Are you an idiota? Sorry? That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright, and a balloon flies because it flies. What else? That must be Italian for I don't know.
There are 2 types of flying balloons, hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work in the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air, whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air.
See, and my balloons are filled with the magic gas, I believe.
Hydrogen, lighter than air, but highly explosive.
Good lord!
I do not permit smoking of cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas does not like fire.
Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode.
What is the matter with you, senor? All that comes out of your mouth is the explosion.
Well, electricity was shot from this, and it tilted up, so clearly it shot a balloon.
I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day. I am completely sure. Wow. But if you still say that is what happened, then you must show me proof. All right. So, Mr. Loon had 3 balloons, bless you, had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded?
I know. But you couldn't get away from the fact that a burnt-up bit of the cloth was found at the scene, can ya?
I was surprised to find the piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for any clues?
Nah, I'm not into picking stuff up off the ground, me. Always works out better. Way better. Diving into people's pockets instead.
So much for the new career path.
Mind you, the boss was on his hands and knees, picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor.
Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into the crystal tower, didn't it?
Yo, Geeky! How's it going, man? Yes, everything's going great. How are you going with you, dude? Glenn says hi, Geeky.
So that's where most of the investigation was going.
Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered up his evidence.
Perks is finally feeling better. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling better, Geeky. Glenn, on the other hand, is not. Dum 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 dum. Oh, but yeah, no worries at all, man.
Gar, listen to you. You stumbled across a bit of balloon, and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world.
Pardon?
Well, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one. I could arrest you with this if I wanted to.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching on the ground at a meeting we had at the investigation. The coppers at the yard reckoned it was probably some debris. Debris, unlikely.
There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there?
Yeah, some of the cubs what were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the old the contraption didn't kneel over, eh?
hadn't considered that.
Think her well-beings. Aw, thank you, Kiki.
It seems there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions. Like me swiping all his fish and chips, eh?
The man's sole pleasure. None of that matters. Describe a balloon envelope means nothing, niente. This studio ragazzo is mistaken. Stupido. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes.
That is true. I went out to an arcade and played DDR, so I need a shower. DDR. Something Dead Redemption? No. What is DDR? Dead Redemption. Dance Revolution. Oh, I love Dance Revolution. It should only be a few more minutes long. I want to get to the bottom of this balloon color thing, and then I'll probably end it. Maybe. We'll see. It had K-pop songs like My Calves Are on Fire. Struggle to Walk. Oh, I love that. I love that, Geeky. I want to do a Dance Revolution. I much prefer the ones where like you have to hit the arrows than the new Wii Dance ones where you move along with it. I'm like, no, let me hit the arrows. That's just dance. Yeah, exactly. What? Oh, you're right. Just Dance. Just Dance. There was so much you could remember its name. Yeah, clearly. I just never called it DDR before. The arrows? Heck yeah. The trailer apparently just came out, Geeky. I will definitely watch it at the stream, so no spoilers. No spoilers when you guys watch it.
You mean the color is wrong? Si, senor. I do not have green balloons in my warehouse. And yet, a piece of green cloth was found on the scene. It's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that can be.
For that sake of argument, let's say that a green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question.
Why not?
Whoa, that's better. Yo, guys, it's Mario, and welcome to my kingdom. I hate it. I hate it so much.
There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park. I read fights from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier day. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree. But we would have heard of that, surely. You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibition?
Si, exactamente. As the senior says, it is not from one of my balloons.
Mario! Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. Enjoy it, but no spoilers. After the showers for me, I don't want to see. Yeah, no worries, Kiki. I'm so glad you feel much better, man. I'm glad you had fun on Dance Dance. Enjoy that wah by Tur. Get all that good H2 on your body.
Clearly, this is little Ragazzo from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw.
Excuse me.
That's not his voice.
Is something wrong, Master like?
It's Master William Gottfried Sigmund Ormstein.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
Zah, something's very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear it. I swear all over Bohemia.
You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing.
My boy's on the fritz. Oh no, that sucks, Geeky.
If you do not have evidence, Ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments.
Evidence? What is evidence?
To give a simple example, young man, a photograph, for instance, something tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here.
Good gracious!
What?
I have not been up in a balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. I took lots and lots of photographs. Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemia exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot eel cellar, the balloon.
And that instantaneous kinesis experiment, did you take pictures of that?
One picture.
Really? You did take one?
But all I wanted was a ride in a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments.
Never mind that. Can you show us a photograph?
Of course. And then you will see. You will see that I'm not lying. That I really did see a green balloon. Well then. Well, I see you're all too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word, young man.
Zah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from the photograph, but that is not my fault! That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera! Wow! I love how the WAS have the 2 dots.
That is one very Bohemian sounding
Cry. How does a Bohemian sounding cry sound like? Ava! Ava!
Very well, the court will accept this photograph as evidence.
Alrighty then. Yeah. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera.
Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph?
Well, it was on the day of the big explosion.
You don't say.
When I pressed the shutter's release, there was this very loud bang. And a hot wind rushed over my face.
That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give the flying fig. Lovely language you picked up.
Bum, bum.
As I thought, Mr. Loom's testimony doesn't quite add up. The young Bohemian boy claims to have seen another 4th balloon. But Mr. Loom vehemently denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, This inconsistency must tell us something, I'm sure.
Let's look at this picture. Sure, I don't want to know. Just keep it to yourself. I want the full Mario experience. I will ask you guys all about it afterwards. Okay, there's definitely the man in the cage inside the machine. We can see here, over here, he's pushing switches. And there's clearly something launching that hit a balloon. I don't think it's launching downwards. I think it's launching upwards. Is there anything else suspicious? Oh, there's just one girl over here. Yeah, there's also no one in the balloon. What? Streamer, I will time you out, dude. No Mario trailer spoilers. What were we saying? Yeah, red and blue of zigzag. Does it show anything on this balloon? Well, it's too low. I don't think that would be it. As I said, Balthasar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. Ah! Well, in that case. No passengers.
Unfortunately, the photograph Master took can't tell us the color of the balloon. But it can tell us something else. Something crucially important.
What?
It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See. They are for pleasure. For seeing the view, my balloons only fly for passengers. Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a 4th balloon in the skies, above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing. Nante. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine.
Objection.
There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing.
See. The Competa Zone trying to steal my profits. I did not notice because of the experimento that went wrong on the stage. This 4th balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Asman was beamed from the stage below.
Right. So then scraps that fell off to the ground after and left them scorch marks. They didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get no attention.
A mysterious 4th balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection.
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly has nothing to do with the case. Its relevance does elude me, I must say. The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded.
Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this operation slip away. The jurors' minds are made up and not in our favor.
Well, the freaking beam of light, the Kamehameha coming shooting from the ground. There's more!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait! Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Master Gods
Videos count, they do count.
may well be hiding one more vital clue.
What's that?
A vital clue.
Objection.
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now. So tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue and photograph prove? The cause of the explosion.
We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion.
That's right, it was not my fault. Evidently. Because the bird cage from the kinesis machines materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited.
No, that's not what happened.
What?
It would appear that this photograph requires close examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain to see. And what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way, that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that Halleck's just is... That timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon.
Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film.
I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort.
If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, as it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line really is.
Goodness, what is that?
Undeniably some flash of light, yes.
Oh golly, do you think it might be lightning?
But it couldn't have been the finer day.
I believe we may be looking at fire. Von Karma's ancestor.
About the fire heading straight for the balloon, like an arrow.
Indeed. Even in my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort.
I went vacuum and came back, and now my screen is full of spam tums all running. What happened, Queen?
My word! Are you suggesting that this flame stuck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
Objection.
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly have reached such a height.
Actually, it's in my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen.
What evidence?
If such evidence exists, counsel, present it, man.
Okay, it could be a couple things. Let me see. But the crossbow wasn't lightning or fire. It was the screwdriver. So it would have to either be this, the direction from the thing, or scorch marks at the edge, like this itself. No, it's not the machine. I think it's the cross. Which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appears to be headed directly for the balloon? Yeah, I guess so. So then it didn't shoot the screwdriver then? I thought it shot the screwdriver. Let's try it.
This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Oh, good lord! Is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon.
Are you suggesting that crossbow was used to deliberately?
Blimey, you're right. That streak of light in the photos looks just like an arrow, doesn't it?
Then, the explosion of the balloon, it was very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow, igniting the hydrogen gas inside of it.
No. What was that pose? Order! Council, this is an extraordinary, supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question.
The noise of the discharge. Of course.
That's right! By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently.
Well, yeah. If someone had shot a gun off an exhibition ground, it would have caused a real panic.
But with the big explosion, there was a very big panic anyway, no? I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend?
If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the bird cage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued.
What? Wait a minute. What are you really saying there? I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all? Or what? My goodness me!
Ah, now I understand. That's what the sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
Oh. What? Did I just hear that correctly, Council?
There's no going back now. The horse has bolted. Let's assume, as I said, that the bird cage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the bird cage was instantaneous. Kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
Good grief!
Objection!
This is ludicrous. What you've described is no science experiment. It's child's play, a contemptible display of stage magic.
Both Mr. Shelves and Iris said that experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day.
And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? If I may put in a word, as a man of magic, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by a simple deception.
Jury number 3.
All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Assman, and having his other man appear on stage to the front show as a body double.
Yes, of course. So in fact, Mr. Assman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would have ever embarked on such a risky venture.
Mr. Titman.
Not necessarily. The explosive force of the blue gas will very much depend upon the mixture ratio.
Journeyman 4!
Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium in its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered.
The mixture ratio.
Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns. That would be unavoidable. But not to such extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible.
So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear that instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me.
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Assman, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with.
Ugh.
In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was on stage in full view the entire time.
Gah.
This would be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Van Zieks can't credibly maintain that Professor Harebrain is a suspect now.
Chippy, what what did you invite me to play?
Mr. Naruto, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor! But you can't, but you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please.
I know you want to. No, want to what? What is it?
Sorry?
What's all this about, Mr. Harebrain? I'm not playing Megaton Punch with you again. I don't want to feel bad about myself anymore.
I, Albert Harebrain, have a hairball. Hereby I confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Odiasman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What? What are you doing?
We're playing Ace Attorney. I'm trying to get to the end of this so we can end stream. No, we can't play something else. Order! Defendant, explain this sudden confession.
Professor Harebrain, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over. My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the indignity of all. It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. Barak!
Yes.
I'll cooperate, however you say. I swear it. So please, ensure that the Special Scientists Act is adhered to and protect my creation.
He'd rather go to jail for murder than have his machine be shown. I just noticed that the wine bottle, you can't really see it. I'll put my mic in the way. Right here, if you look at this guy right here, it looks like a green Grim Reaper with two scythes. Very peculiar of someone known as the Reaper. Pray forgive the discourtesy of fulfilling my hollow chalice at this critical juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. What? Do you intend to formally assert the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring a trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispense Scientific Equipment Act that precedes the professional's invitation will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machine involved in order to establish the truth.
However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, any chance of investigation will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved.
Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter? It's definitely staged. Also, I think I know exactly how they, like, we were just at a wax museum with someone who created duplicas. Like, obviously, it was a copy inside the machine that exploded.
Well, Professor Hairbrain, my client, actually asked me, was there proof that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis? But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence? Or do I uphold my client's request to see him condemned? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust.
You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind?
Mr. Naruto! There's no escape here. I have to make a choice. But it's an impossible one. I had to give up on something, but what? The defense asserts. The defense instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact.
Well, I have to say it was a trick. Get wrecked, nerd. A conjuring trick.
Ah!
You okay there, dude?
No, I can't say it. My client places faith in me. I can't just let him down.
What must I give up on is not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect?
Mia!
Are we hallucinating?
Hello again, Mr. Naruto. It's been far too long. Susato-san! But what are you? Hiya!
Is she actually here?
Ah! My first Susato's takedown in 6 months!
How did she get into the courtroom?
There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruto. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Professor Hairbrain. Ah, yes. Yesterday you told me that the science in the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth, too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Asman. I think you've come to realize something yourself, too, haven't you?
Oh, I just made a huge knot in my hair. I think I'm getting it.
That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. Wah! Bling.
So, you finally opened your eyes.
What?
And it's for you. Albert, you can't ignore this any longer.
Ah!
Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
Barak! Lord Van Zeeks.
Gosh, wow, she actually really is here.
I've never heard him speak that way before. In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered as of relevance. What? On that day it happened, just before I began my experiment.
She just appeared, Drippy, out of thin air. She was like, no, don't give up yet. And then flipped us. Like,
I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow.
I beg your pardon. I went to the bathroom and she just went across to England, apparently. It's really weird because we just got a letter from her. Did she send the letter and then the next day also traveled out? And so we got the letter and then she arrived the next day? Like, how?
Professor! Did the man have any distinguished features? What do you look like?
I also like to show up in a kimono and flip people.
Tall. Taller than me, and thin.
Thinner than you? And taller than you? My good sir, you are the lankiest dude I've seen in this game yet.
With straight hair, straighter and wider than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me. 2. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle.
Black monocle? It's got to be someone we haven't seen yet.
But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man. You see, I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention.
Oh, well, you could have started with that. Do you do that when you meet Cole for the first time? Oh, hey, Coffee. That's for saying every word on stream wrong ever. What?
He built the machine. That's right. Mr. Asmans introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber.
Enoch Drebber? Scared the living... Does this mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered.
Not to name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination.
Not to name any conjurer wishes to hear either.
Who on earth is he?
I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of his nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with the name. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turned out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money.
Scared the living? I skipped my... Yeah, I did. Yo, where are those cards coming from? When magicians are in need of money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Wait, wasn't there another Ace Attorney character who had endless amounts of cards? I'm trying to remember. Like from the original game. I don't remember who it was, though. Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before.
Man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here.
That last guy with the nose? The guy who was trying to say he was the great detective? I don't remember him being a magician, though. Like, his whole thing was like he was a renowned detective. I don't think a magician was his gimmick. Was it someone from the... Was it someone from the circus act? Yes, please do, Drippy.
So it's true then. My invention. My great machine. It was just a grand illusion.
Considering what we've just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely.
Even though no one else believed it. I wanted to. I wanted to believe the machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted.
Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume.
I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, then a work of the deception,
then everything I'd worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified of the prospect.
So, you really had no idea then, did you?
I do. Okay, no, I don't remember who it was, but I remember specifically they were in prison. Like, we were talking to them across from, like, the witness thing. Like, we weren't in court, we were in prison. And they kept drawing a card and then dropping it, and drawing a card and then dropping it, drawing a card and then dropping it. Max Galactica? Maybe? I don't... Like, the pink guy? Was he a magician? I guess he was a magician. Yeah, you're right. He did the whole flying trick. Maybe it was him. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would, but that's my best guess so far.
About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Drebber.
I've never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it.
It's entirely possible that Mr. Asman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money.
When I announced my invention to the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore.
It looked like that guy was waving, so maybe it wasn't a wax figure? I don't know. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitted the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Scientist Act? Who was it, Trippy?
Yes, please go ahead.
It was Max Galactica. You were right, Clem. That makes sense.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
It would appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical. Welcome back, Kiki! I'd rather say, okay, I haven't seen it yet, so yeah, no, don't say anything yet. Oh my god, you and Van Zeeks. Yes, Mr. Drebber. Gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him served as Saponia. Subpoena. Mario dies. Tragic. With pleasure, my lord. No, the counsel for the defense.
Yes, my lord.
They just full on show the scene where he dies in the first trailer ever. When we reconvene, I should be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. Why is your moth yelling? What? Oh, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Oh. I'm waiting for the to be continued sign.
Mr. Naruto!
Ah, yes.
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You tricked me. I dragged you into the mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry.
Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was really up to, I mean. About what he was really constructing. Naturally. The machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis. I read happiness of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. All right, in that case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands.
About someone's performance in the trailer, Cole, or the animation. After I watch it, if you don't mind. I really want the whole thing to be a surprise. He just fixed his glasses twice in a row.
Well, thank you for doing so much for me.
Oh. Thank you, Kiki. Much appreciated.
I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruto. Yeah, arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I want to let you know when I'm gonna arrive. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you.
Why would you hide something like that?
So it would be a surprise. Well, did it work? I was surprised, all right, especially when she threw me to the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out.
Definitely the person who, like, when she likes someone, there's physical violence involved, you know? Like, punches them, flips them to the ground, that classic anime trope.
Maybe we should stick more to traditional displays of emotion in future. Susie's train was late into London's Victoria this morning, you see. What made the coachman really whip the horses hard, she didn't miss the whole train.
Those poor horses.
I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Oh, having you at my side in the courtroom gives me the strength I need to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruto. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course. So, what brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest? Let's save all that conversation for when we're back at the home, shall we? You know, I've made one of my most special blends ever for a special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. I can't wait.
To be continued.
Susanna-san was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn.
That's character development. Yay! To be continued. Let's go! Let's freaking go! I would like to say my progress, yes. Nope, not doing it. Closer part of this game is when he doesn't have to play it anymore. No, it's just that this game always makes my streams way longer. I'm so hungry right now. Also, I want to watch the Mario trailer. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat and watch Mario trailer. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me this whole stream. It was real fun. Eat Mario. Hopefully this weekend we'll be playing a spooky game. If my Steam stops not working, so and it's gonna be a game we can all kind of play together. So I hope it's gonna be a good time. Other than that, I hope you guys all have a terrific night. Peace out, everybody. Bye bye. Also, Glum says goodbye.